A weekend that has thrown up many uncertainties, but it is Sergio Perez who takes pole position in F1 with a stunning lap at the end of Q3, with the two Ferraris behind him of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Max Verstappen could only manage 4th place, and the biggest shock result in qualifying is that Lewis Hamilton is in 16th place on the grid for tomorrow's Grand Prix, as he didn't even get out of Q1. Firstly, we should talk about Mick Schumacher and the violent crash he suffered in Q2. It brought out the red flags as he slammed into the wall on the exit of turn 12. Mick was conscious throughout as he managed to speak to the doctors on site. He was extracted from his car, and after checks it appears that he is physically okay, and by the time this video has gone out he has went to hospital for precautionary checks. It is unknown if he's going to race tomorrow, but the main thing is Mick is okay after his heavy crash. Of course, there was questions over the whole weekend on Friday as there was a missile attack on an oil plant about 12 kilometers away from the circuit, and this led to debates long into the night as it went into Saturday morning, with the drivers debating whether they should continue for the rest of the race weekend. The decision was taken to continue with the rest of the weekend as planned, as the local authorities reassured the FIA and F1 that the security and safety measures around the track are at a maximum and it is safe to continue racing. Back into the action, Q1 was dominated by the story that Lewis Hamilton failed to get out of qualifying 1 for the first time since Brazil 2017. Hamilton hasn't looked comfortable all weekend in his W13, as Mercedes are struggling for top end speed on the straights, but for him not even to make it out of Q1 and teammate George Russell qualifying in 6th place, Hamilton and his Mercedes team have a lot of work to do as they head into race day tomorrow. There was some talk if Hamilton was going to change all the components in his car and start from the pit lane. That hasn't been confirmed yet, so make sure to keep an eye out on crash.net for all the latest developments on that story. Q2 was delayed by just over an hour as Mick Schumacher suffered his violent crash. McLaren have struggled again this weekend as both cars of Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo could only manage 11th and 12th in Q2. A better performance than in Bahrain, but still it isn't where they want to be. And then we had the Q3 showdown. Could Verstappen take it to the Ferraris? Well, we completely focused on the wrong Red Bull, as Sergio Perez becomes the first Mexican to take pole position in F1. And it was just a stunning lap that really upset the order. It looked like it was going to be the Ferraris of Sainz and Leclerc who were going to take a 1-2 as they traded fastest laps early in Q3. Max Verstappen struggled with rear end grip on his final runs in Q3, but it was Sergio Perez who produced a brilliant final sector, and like they say, good things come to those who wait. Perez thoroughly deserved this pole position, and he is a real player in this race tomorrow. We'll get on to the race predictions in a moment, but just a shout out to the Alpines of Esteban Ocon in 5th and Fernando Alonso in 7th. A great weekend for them. George Russell, like we've mentioned, he managed 6th place. A good salvageable result for Mercedes and Mercedes powered cars in general, as they struggled so much all weekend with the top end speed. The customer Ferrari engine seemed to be working quite well, as Valtteri Bottas managed 8th place for Alfa Romeo, and Kevin Magnussen continues his great run of form by getting inside the top 10 again for Haas. Now on to the race predictions. Now looking at the long runs from practice, it is clear that Ferrari and Red Bull are the two main players this weekend, which is no real surprise, but Sainz and Leclerc are closely matched, and it'll be interesting at the start of the race tomorrow to see which one of them, if both of them, could even make it past Perez and make a break for it and show their true pace. Max Verstappen has race-winning pace, but starting 4th place and having to pass both Ferraris and his teammate is going to be very difficult. Like I've mentioned, Sergio Perez is a massive player in this race now. He's got himself the clean run into turn 1 if he gets a good start. Who knows what Perez can do. But for me, the race winner will be in a Ferrari. Which Ferrari that is? It's going to be number 55, Carlos Sainz. I think Sainz has great pace on the medium tyres, and I just think that luck will be on his side tomorrow in Jeddah. It's going to be one of those races where anything could happen, crazy things happen, and I think Sainz will have that luck. Let me know in the comments who your race winner is and what your crazy race predictions are going to be. Make sure to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to Crash F1 for more content.